This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Dog paw linked to several murders and the shooting, said the police. Head of the Crime and Security Portfolio in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, says slain reputed gangster Christopher Linton, otherwise called the Dog Paw, has been implicated in several murders and the shootings since his release from prison in April. Linton was fatally shot during a confrontation with the police in Elletson Flats, St. Andrew this afternoon. The police report that shortly before 2 p.m., cops acting on information intercepted a vehicle in which armed men were believed to be traveling. When asked to stop, Linton exited the vehicle and opened fire at the cops, according to the police. The gunfire was returned and Linton was shot. He was taken to a nearby medical facility where he succumbed to his injuries. The police say a .45 pistol was seized following the incident. The matter was reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations and the Police's Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau. Linton had been notorious for almost a decade. In 2013, he and another man, Micah Allen, were found guilty of gun charges and each sentenced to 15 years in prison for illegal possession of a firearm and 15 years for shooting with intent. But in April this year, they were freed by the Court of Appeal. Linton and Allen were accused of shooting at two policemen traveling in a service vehicle along Tavern Drive, St. Andrew, in April 2010. The men had denied the allegations at their trial. In quashing the conviction, the appeal court said the identification evidence was unreliable. 6 new centers to aid police in domestic violence intervention. 6 domestic violence intervention centers have been launched at select police stations across Jamaica in an effort to strengthen the Jamaica Constabulary Force's ability to respond to and support victims. The JCF currently has 4 centers in operation, split equally between St. Andrew and St. Thomas. Last Thursday's launch represented Phase 2 of the government's engagement with the European Union-funded Spotlight Initiative. The Spotlight Initiative is a global partnership aimed at eliminating all forms of violence against women and girls. Gender Minister Olivia Grange said the launch of the centers was a watershed moment. It represents a major achievement in our response to the long-standing problem of domestic violence. These centers are strategically placed and will play a critical role in the delivery of service island-wide to support the implementation of the National Strategic Action Plan to eliminate gender-based violence in Jamaica, Grange said. The minister added that the centers will complement and strengthen the work being done by the Bureau of Gender Affairs. European Ambassador to Jamaica, Marian Van Steen, reasoned that despite the progress that has been made, domestic violence still remains prominent. She noted that domestic violence was a less visible pandemic, but one that cannot be ignored as it impacts the well-being of many families. Van Steen said it is her hope that the police officers selected to work with the program will be empathetic in their interactions with victims and look for ways that can lead to reconciliation and lasting peace. Police, you are the gateway for individuals who seek protection from abuse, who are seeking access to justice, or who are brave enough to seek redress from harm. You are the lifeline for victims of domestic violence and intimate partner violence, especially those facing multiple and intersecting forms of discrimination, the ambassador said. In his address, Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said 704 cases of domestic violence were referred to the 4 existing centers since the start of the year. I am happy that the JCF can be a significant part of our response to domestic violence in Jamaica, and that's beyond just the law enforcement, Anderson said. Meanwhile, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang said it is regrettable that domestic violence continues to feature prominently among acts of violence. Chang said the handover of the additional centers sends a strong signal about the repositioning of the police and restores hope to victims of domestic violence. JCF to conduct a training exercise in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth. Residents of Treasure Beach, Malvern, and the surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth, as well as persons who may be traversing the areas, are being advised that the Jamaica Constabulary Force will be conducting training exercise in the communities from Monday, October 11 to Sunday, October 23. As a result, the exercise explosions may be heard in these communities for several hours. This is normal and residents need not be alarmed. The Jamaica Constabulary Force remains committed to respecting the human rights of all citizens and thanks residents for their understanding during this period. Hoteliers back vaccine mandates. With increased inquiries by prospective visitors on the COVID-19 immunization status of tourism workers, a survey by the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association has revealed resounding support by industry stakeholders for mandatory vaccination. 98% of the stakeholders in the sector say vaccines should be compulsory for new recruits and current staff. The news comes 2 weeks after a number of hoteliers confirmed to the news that winter bookings were trending upwards, but the visitors were making inquiries about the vaccination status of tourism workers with whom they might interact while on vacation. At the time, JHTA President Clifton Reeder stated that such requests were not being made widely. It is believed that cruise lines request that port, ground transportation, and attractions workers be fully vaccinated has emboldened the hoteliers. Reeder revealed that in the survey conducted among heads of large and small hotels this past weekend, the majority responded definitely when asked if they would support a state-ordered mandate for their staff to be vaccinated. A small percentage were concerned about the medical exemptions, but agreed that once those cases were sensitively handled, they would be in agreement too. In a press statement Sunday, Reeder said that it would be foolhardy to ignore the worldwide trend with the mandates being applied across major tourism markets. Already, our travel partners and guests are inquiring about the vaccination status of properties before making their reservations. We need to plan for what is clearly inevitable, he said. Reeder also noted that JHTA members in association with the Ministry of Health has been hosting a series of vaccination blitz at various hotels for the benefits of workers and allied hospitality and tourism workers. Approximately 10.6%, 302,359 people of the Jamaican population has been fully vaccinated. As at Saturday, there were more than 29,200 active cases of COVID-19 locally. 2,000 people have died from the disease. Former sugar workers protest concerning relocation from Innswood Estate. A group of people protested outside the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings head office on Old Harbour Road in St. Catherine on Monday morning. Some of the residents, who are former sugar workers, are upset about the lengthy delay in relocating them from the Innswood Estate. Anne Armstrong, a resident of Innswood Estate, told the news that she has been living in the area for more than 30 years, was a sugar worker for 21 years.
Used to work in sugar for 21 years. Somebody came by the house, let us know now that they have bought the land. They are ready for it, and with disrespectfulness, what the gentleman did, bring 7 loads of dirt and throw it at the front of my house. We need to know exactly what is happening. Mr. Prime Minister, please, sir, I'm asking you, we need your attention, because majority of us that is living here at Innswood cases have bought and nobody know exactly what is happening.
More than 120 homeless people will be fully vaccinated this week, says the Kingston mayor. Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, is projecting that by Thursday, more than 120 homeless people will be fully vaccinated in the corporate area. Mr. Williams gave the estimate following another vaccination blitz session for members of the homeless community on Sunday. During the blitz at the Marie Atkins Night Shelter, 60 homeless people were given the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
The
first one we did was some weeks ago, and we had over 65 persons being vaccinated at the time. Those persons are scheduled to have their second dose on Thursday, this Thursday coming, and they are ready and to have their second dose. We are always reviewing that decision, and in light of new realities where our vaccination numbers are growing and the homeless members are responding to the special vaccination programs for them, and that is something that we are going to sit again and discuss among ourselves as a municipality, and discuss with the Ministry of Local Government, and to see where we go from there.
258 new COVID-19 cases, 25 more fatalities. Jamaica has recorded 25 more COVID-19 deaths, increasing the tally to 2,025. The Ministry of Health says the deaths occurred between August 23 and October 8. One more case has been recorded as a coincidental death, pushing the number to 180. And the 2 more fatalities are under investigation, moving that figure to 316. Meanwhile, there were 258 new cases, with ages ranging from 32 days to 90 years, pushing the total to 86,384, with 29,347 being active. Of the new cases, 149 are women and 109 are men. The parish breakdown is as follows: St. Catherine 57, Kingston and St. Andrew 52, St. James 26, St. Anne 25, Hanover 19, St. Thomas 17, St. Elizabeth 16, Westmoreland 14, Clarendon 10, Manchester 9, Trelawney 8, Portland 3, and St. Mary 2. A total of 1,601 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 20.5%. In the meantime, there were 129 more recoveries, increasing the total to 54,424. Some 419 persons are in hospital, with 90 being moderately ill, 53 severely ill, and 30 critically ill. 2 persons are in government quarantine, while 35,062 are at home. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.